The years of the Expos' existence have been highlighted on the cover of their souvenir program as if prepared to be chiseled on a gravestone. Are the memories of the past reminding the dwindling Expo fans of what they are not now? Is this the penultimate Pirates game in Montreal? This evening from Olympic Stadium in Montreal, it's our Pittsburgh Pirates against the Montreal Expos in the middle game of a three-game series. Hi, friends, and a very pleasant good evening. Thanks for being with us. Steve Blass is alongside. Major League Baseball has been talking about eliminating two teams, so it might be the second to last Pirates game ever in Montreal. We've developed a lot of good friendships up here. I hope it all works out well.
Yeah, I'm optimistic. I keep my fingers crossed that they could figure something out, because this has been a good organization. They've had some spectacular players come through, some exciting baseball. Plus, Bill Verdon managed here. It's got to be a good organization. Got to be a good outfit if the Quail was here.
Tonight's pitching matchup, Jimmy Anderson against Carl Pavano.
Yeah, and speaking of being anywhere for the Pirates, this might be good news for Jimmy Anderson. He has been much better on the road than at PNC Park. 2.02 ERA, 3-1 his record away from Pittsburgh, so maybe this is a tonic. He has struggled his last two outings, but the Pirates need to play a lot better defense for him. Not just last night, but they made 8 errors in their last 8 games, so they've got to clean that up. But maybe some bats are starting to wake up. Kendall's getting a hot bat. The Wilsons are doing fine, and the only concern right now, I think, remains is Aramis Ramirez. He still is hurt a little bit, but you really still need to get some production out of your third baseman.
And Ramirez is not in the starting lineup tonight. Mike Benjamin will play third base. The Pirates ready to face the Expos of 2002 that include Vladimir Guerrero and Jose Vidro. Let's go back and reminisce a little bit about Tim Raines and Andre Dawson and Tim Wallach and Gary Carter and Expos of years past.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Pittsburgh Pirates baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Giant Eagle, the official supermarket of the Pittsburgh Pirates. By Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light, cold down easy. By Pennzoil, we're driving protection. By MEC Racing Network, open an Express bet account and wager by phone or online, anytime, anywhere. And by your Western Pennsylvania Toyota dealers. Toyota, get the feeling.
There is Brian Giles alongside his good buddy Bill Verdon. It's hilarious to watch the two of them when they're together. Very often on the airplane, Brian will come up to first class and sit along Bill and bug the heck out of him. Well, we're ready to go. The starting lineup for the Pirates, brought to you by Dodge. Lloyd McClendon has Chad Hermanson in the leadoff spot. Abraham Nunez batting second. At second base, Jason Kendall is the Pirates catcher, hitting third. Brian Giles in left field. How about Craig Wilson? 3 hits yesterday, a 5-game hitting streak, and batting .632 in the last 5 games. Craig's at first base. Makoviak in right field. Mike Benjamin at third base. Jack Wilson the shortstop, and Jimmy Anderson the pitcher.
And the pitcher for the Montreal Expos, right-hander Carl Pavano, has been giving up a bunch of hits, and his ERA against the Pirates quite high, although he's 2-2 lifetime against the Pirates. It has been a long time in between consecutive wins, and a couple of wins of any sort for Carl.
First pitch of the game is up high, ball 1. Hermanson batting .239. Second game back after missing starts against the Cardinals because of the shoulder injury. Fly ball to deep left center field, and Chad Hermanson starts the game with a home run off the top of the wall. Chad's 5th home run of the year. 1-0 Pirates just that quickly.
And what a way to get the bad taste of last night's ball game out of your mouth. Just take one swing of the bat and you're out in front of Carl Pavano and the Montreal Expos. How about that for a leadoff man? Going to get underway with this pitch. It's a fastball out over the plate. Hermanson extends his hands. Big extension, big fly ball, and an early lead. Didn't clear it by much, but doesn't have to.
Strike 1 on Abraham Nunez.
Get a better look. This is a high padded wall, higher than most stadiums, but it still manages to hit the top and keep going instead of coming back in. That's a good sign too. Pirate bounces have not been going their way lately.
Pavano out in front of Nunez. No balls, 2 strikes. Abraham is batting .252 on the year, doing a lot of strong work from the left side of the plate. Abraham is hitting .270 left-handed. And Nunez playing second base in these 2 games of the series, in part because Pokey Reese is not with the ball club, and Pokey's not expected to rejoin the team until tomorrow. Count remains at 0-2, 1-0 Pirates.
So another night of a thin bench for Lloyd McClendon. Osick, you kind of have to hold on to him because of his catching status. Kevin Young, Ramirez available, Adrian Brown. So the guys he's got on the bench are physically okay.
Center fielder Wilkerson. First out of the game. And let's take a look at this Montreal defense. The Expos are second to last in the National League in fielding percentage, even though there are a couple of Gold Glovers on the field tonight, including their shortstop Orlando Cabrera won the Gold Glove last year. He committed only 11 errors in 2001, and yet he has made 8 errors already this year. Tatis on the left side along with Cabrera, Vidro, and Galarraga. On the right side, Andres Galarraga has won a couple of Gold Gloves.
He's kind of way along the road in his career these days, but still quite dangerous. Still knows how to play first base.
Back to your point, Steve, about the Pirates playing shorthanded. Lloyd's getting so used to it, and I know Lloyd loves to play poker, but you know, he might consider a card game like euchre where you don't have to use all the cards.
Yeah, he's getting, yeah, euchre, and the next stop is solitaire.
1-2 on Kendall.
Well, let's get Pokey back here and give him some cards to play with.
Pokey had to go to South Carolina for a hearing, a bit of personal business. Got back for the game Friday in the Cardinals series, but missed last night, and as I said, is not expected back until tomorrow. Here's Kevin Young with his brother Jason, who is a Marine. Ball popped up into shallow right field, and second baseman Vidro makes the catch. 2 outs. Pirates lead at 1-0. I thought Kevin might be in the starting lineup tonight. Kevin's got real good career numbers against Carl Pavano, but Lloyd McClendon decided to go with Makoviak in right and Craig Wilson playing first base. By the way, Kevin's brother Jason, 22 years of age. As I said, he's in the Marines, based in Camp Lejeune. And Jason was telling me last night that shortly down the road he's going to have to decide between Hawaii or Kansas City for his next stop.
Let's send him out a note.
He's a corporal in the Marines. 1 ball on Brian Giles.
He'll be standing on the corner of 12th Street and Vine in Kansas City when you can be in Maui.
And center fielder Wilkerson quite aggressive. We saw that last night, and he takes charge on the fly. Ball hit by Brian Giles. Chad Irvinson is homered, so Jimmy Anderson goes to the mound for the bottom of the first inning with a 1-0 lead. Frank Robinson, the Hall of Famer, is the manager of the Montreal Expos as Major League Baseball has taken over this franchise. And the Montreal Expos batting order brought to you by Chrysler. Brad Wilkerson leads off. He'll be followed by Orlando Cabrera, Jose Vidro, one of the top hitters in Major League Baseball. 6th in the league, 5th in the league in RBIs, followed by Vladimir Guerrero, who's 4th in the league in runs batted in. And Will Cordero, the former Pirate, Fernando Tatis, Andres Galarraga, Michael Barrett, and Carl Pavano.
Jimmy Anderson making start number 12. Certainly anybody needs better defense than last night. Continuing with that scouting report on Jimmy. Last couple of starts after a real good outing against the Cubs where he shut them out for 7 innings, it has been a struggle. Home on the road. He has been much better on the road than at PNC Park. To the tune of an ERA just barely over 2 and a 3-1 one-loss record.
Strike 3 called on 3 pitches. We have our first out of the bottom of the first inning, and in disbelief, Wilkerson turns and walks away. The Pirates defensively brought to you by Hyundai. It's Mike Benjamin playing third base. There were a lot of shabby plays last night, but a few exceptions, including the double play turned by the Pirates off the bunt last night, with Kendall doing a great job getting it to Jack Wilson and Jack turning the pivot. Strike called on Orlando Cabrera. Hitting .239, 13 doubles, no triples, 4 home runs. 1-0 Pirates on the home run by Chad Hermanson.
What a contrast between the leadoff man for the Pirates and the leadoff man for the Expos. Our guy homered, their guy struck out. He didn't bunt at that ball?
I thought he offered at it too.
Yeah.
The home plate umpire is Joe West. Brian Gorman at first, Phil Cuzzy at second, crew chief Jerry Crawford's at third. Base hit to left field. I wonder if Benjamin saw that ball. Mike seemed to react late.
Yeah.
May not have seen it directly off the bat.
We can take another look at that non-bunt attempt, which gave him a second chance that he cashed in for a base hit. Come on. So, well, you give Cabrera credit. He cashes in on his second chance.
You know, what's the deal here? It looked like Cabrera was asking for time, then he wasn't. Brian Gorman was going to give him time, and Jose Vidro, 6th in the league with a batting average of .329. Behind Barry Bonds, Jim Edmonds, Ryan Klesko, Todd Helton, and Mike Lowell. Now Cabrera has 4 stolen bases this year. He's been caught stealing 5 times, and there have been 9 stolen bases off Jimmy Anderson this year. It's been well documented that teams have had success running against Jimmy.
Well, one of the things about Jimmy Anderson that doesn't show up in the numbers is the fact that I think he's a much better pitcher when he's pitching ahead in the count, because they'll chase that borderline sinker. When he's behind, they'll take that and let that sinker go downstairs and be called a ball. Ahead, when Jimmy's ahead in the count, they'll chase that. They can't afford not to.
3 balls and 1 strike on Vidro. Vidro's average from the right side of the plate is .286 compared to .343 left-handed. Vladimir Guerrero on deck.
A nice time for one of those patented Jimmy Anderson ground balls and let Guerrero lead off the bottom of the second inning. The more you can face him without runners on base, the better off you're going to be.
Bouncer to the right side. Craig Wilson gets the ball to Jimmy Anderson, but Jimmy was late getting over. And there are 2 men on. Well, last night, a Kevin Young error on a play at first base proved very costly. Let's hope this doesn't prove to be deadly.
See Jimmy hesitate there as Wilson moves off first base. That hesitation early after his follow through cost him the out at first base.
And Jimmy normally does a good job of fielding his position, but no question he did stop, hesitated for a moment when he should have been sprinting right over to be in position to take that throw.
Yep, because you can take it from the first baseman or the second baseman. Your responsibility to be there no matter who winds up feeding you the ball.
2 men on base. Vladimir Guerrero, 4th in the league in RBIs. He has 45. The league leader is Todd Helton. Helton of the Rockies has knocked in 51. Jimmy Anderson lost to the Montreal Expos July 1st last year here at Olympic Stadium, and in that game Vladimir Guerrero hit a grand slam off Jimmy.
Yeah, and Jimmy's had home run concerns this year. Last year, all of last year, 34 starts, he gave up 15. This year in his first 11, he's already given up 11. And part of that is pitching behind, which forces him to come upstairs away from that good sinker neighborhood that he has success in.
Ground ball. Jack Wilson's throw to second base for one. What a double play. That takes care of the Montreal Expos as Jack Wilson ranges far to his right and fires a strike to Vidro, or to Nunez, to get Vidro at second base. And then the Nunez throw to Craig Wilson. 1-0 Pirates after 1.
One nothing Pirates. Part of the reason they turn a great double play, if we can hold it right there, you can see how much distance there is between Jack Wilson and second base. He goes deep in the hole and then makes a great long throw going the opposite way. He has nothing helping him except the arm there. That double play is all Jack Wilson. Simple as that.
Craig Wilson leads off the second. First pitch to Craig is a strike. Alex Simon is our Giant Eagle contestant. First of the night. And a called strike 1 and 2. 5 days ago, Craig Wilson's batting average was .220. Now up to .291. Breaking ball away. First strikeout of the game recorded by Pavano. Buccos lead it 1-0 in the second inning. And following the game, join Guy Junker and Pat Paris for Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. You'll hear from Pirates #1 pick Brian Bullington. The area's top golfers played today at Westmoreland Country Club to qualify for next week's U.S. Open, and the Post-Gazette's Gene Collier sheds some light on baseball's steroids issue as only he can. It's on Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. Makoviak driving one the opposite way, and Rob Makoviak hits a home run. His 7th of the year. 2-0 Pirates. Good to see Rob come through because he's been struggling of late.
Number 7 on the year. So the Pirates bring out the long ball after last night's county fair. They're playing some baseball tonight. Opposite way. Rob Makoviak giving it a good ride. That is home run number 11 given up by Carl Pavano as he gets hurt in the first and second inning. Our old buddy Will Cordero out in left field gives it a look, and then he's going to have to pick up the scraps.
Solo home runs by Hermanson and Makoviak. 2-0 Pirates. Mike Benjamin batting 7th, playing third base, and a base hit into left field. Ball bobbled by Cordero. Well, Benjamin, after thinking about second, elects to put the brakes on.
Well, we told you coming into the ball game, Carl Pavano came in having worked 60 innings and 80 hits, 20 more hits than innings, and Pirates look like they're seeing his deliveries quite nicely here early in this ball game. 3 so far in an inning plus given up by Pavano.
Benjamin running, and the ground ball. Only play for shortstop Cabrera is to first base. It's the second out of the inning. Benjamin advancing to second. That'll bring up Jimmy Anderson.
We're talking about Jimmy Anderson usually fielding his position well. He's also had a pretty good reputation of handling the bat. He could really help himself out here.
Anderson this year batting .238. Ball one. Carl Pavano from the state of Connecticut, originally signed by the Boston Red Sox and traded by the Red Sox to Montreal in November of '97 in the deal that sent Pedro Martinez to Boston. 2 balls, no strikes.
And Tony Armas Jr. later becoming part of that deal, a later aspect of it. So they're both in the rotation. He had some terrific years in the minor leagues for Boston. Made him a candidate for that Martinez trade.
He never pitched for the Red Sox on the ground ball. Backhanded by Galarraga. Ball dropped by pitcher Pavano. Benjamin gets over to third. Anderson safe at first.
I'll tell you, some strange things going on in this ballpark. A lot of strange things last night, and now we get a strange situation. Not sure what the problem was. It looked like a good feed, and Pavano just simply dropped the ball. And Galarraga did what most good first basemen should do. He showed him the ball the whole way.
Watching to see if Benjamin might have a chance to score on this play. Normally the runner will be very aggressive with 2 outs. So the big cat quickly jump on that ball and prevent Benjamin from breaking for the plate.
I would assume error on the pitcher is a good feed.
Strike called on Hermanson.
So a couple mistakes by pitchers covering first base. Anderson early and now Pavano. Maybe there's still some areas of this field left over from last night that you can't quite get right.
1 ball and 1 strike. Congratulations to Alex Simon. We have a Giant Eagle winner here in the 2nd inning thanks to Rob Makoviak's home run to left. First baseman Galarraga playing behind Jimmy Anderson. And Jimmy doesn't bother with a very big lead. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hermanson leading off the game with a home run. 2nd time that Chad's done it in his career.
He'll have to go some to catch Ricky Henderson, but well, there's time, but maybe not nearly enough time.
Strike 3. The Pirates pick up a run. 2 hits in the inning, a Montreal error and 2 men left on base. So Hermanson and Makoviak have homered for the Pirates. 2-0 Buccos. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. Buccos lead at 2-0. Bottom of the 2nd inning coming up with Will Cordero about to lead off. And the Pirates are home for just 3 games. Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon. Friday night is beach towel night at the ballpark. Game time against the Brewers, 7:05. All fans will receive a beach towel courtesy of West Penn Allegheny Health System. For tickets, call 1-877-893-BUCKS or log on to PittsburghPirates.com. Or if you'll be in the area of our ballpark, then check out the ticket windows at PNC Park. 7:05 game time on Friday. Kip Wells, Chris Benson. Benson pitches Saturday, and Joe Beimel gets a start on Friday. And then Kip would be coming back to pitch on Sunday against the Brewers.
Keep him in his 5th-day program, 6th-day program.
Everybody's getting an extra
Monday,
start
yeah,
because of the Thursday off day.
By the way, talking to Ryan Vogelsong, he's quite happy about his simulated game. Yesterday he's all smiles in the Pirate Clubhouse and said that even better than that, the way his elbow felt today, the day after. Good news.
Vogelsong's next simulated game is slated for Saturday, and hopefully that'll be a 5-inning outing for Ryan Vogelsong.
Under the watchful eye of Spin Williams, I'm sure, during that simulated game.
Will Cordero started this year with Cleveland, was released by the Indians April 29th and signed by Montreal a couple of days later. Will Cordero played 89 games for the Pirates in 2000 and hit .282 with 16 home runs. And we're seeing Jimmy Anderson falling behind a good number of these early Montreal hitters.
bailed out in the first inning by that spectacular double play. Jack Wilson just did a fabulous job going completely away from second base. His momentum still taking him away from where his throw was going when he released the ball. We were able to turn the double play on Guerrero. That was just terrific work. Quick release with some steam on it, chest high over to Nunez.
Tatis's fly ball to right center field. 1 out. Pirates 2, Expos nothing in the second. The Pirates 7.5 back of Cincinnati in the National League Central. And the Cardinals and the Reds are opening a series tonight at Synergy. Jason Simon-Tachi against Joey Hamilton. Andres Galarraga, 377 career home runs. National League batting champion with the Colorado Rockies in 1993, hitting .242 this year. Galarraga first came up to the big leagues with Montreal and played with the Expos his first tour of duty as a Montreal Expo, 1985 through 91.
The elder statesman, if he took that helmet off, he would look like a senator from somewhere. Very distinguished looking man, also very big man. I'll tell you, he's got those legs are like stovepipes. This guy is really, really put together. He's a very, very strong man.
Galarraga retired by Hermanson, 2 out. Now wait a minute, let me see if you're setting us up here. You talked about Galarraga being very distinguished looking, like a senator. Are you getting ready for the Expos to move to Washington?
A Washington senator, perhaps. You got one more year in you, Senator Galarraga? Perhaps.
I thought that's where you were going with all of this.
Well, that could be. Could be a directional thing. And Frank Robinson in our visit last night said, you know, most of these guys are going to have jobs. If they're big leaguers, they will have jobs whatever happens in this situation. If they're not good enough, they wouldn't have jobs even if we were going to stay here. So a pretty good perspective on things.
Barrett takes a strike. Expo catcher, their number 8 hitter. There was talk all winter long about the elimination of 2 teams, and seemed to be some argument as to how they were going to decide who should get the first pick and who it would be if there was a dispersion draft.
You just saw him. You're looking at him again. Vladimir Guerrero.
One man on and 2 outs. 2-0 Pirates in the second. You know, that discussion over the winner. Some people saying, well, if it's Vladimir Guerrero, would a team like the Pirates, if they had first pick, be able to go after him? Could they afford to go after him?
Good question. I don't know the answer to that.
Those questions come up when we get to the draft day, as we've seen the Pirates pick first in the country and pick a good one from Ball State. Line shot by Barrett. Second baseman Nunez makes the catch. No runs, no hits, a walk, and a man left on base. So far, so good. Though Jimmy's been behind a few hitters. That ball hit sharply.
Pittsburgh Pirates baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Dodge. Get somewhere. Grab life by the horns. Dodge. And by UPMC. Choose your healthcare as if your life depended on it.
You will not see these 2 hometown reporters going up in that elevator.
No, we will not do that. Is that what we are, hometown reporters?
Yeah, and it looks like fun, and it really looks like fun from this angle.
One ball and 1 strike on Nunez. Then Kendall followed by Giles. Strike called. It's 1-2. Had a chance to visit with the umpiring crew earlier today and got the word from Jerry Crawford, the crew chief, about what transpired last night with the practice balls that somehow found their way into the game ball bucket. And one away in the third. It was Tomo Oka who pointed out to Jerry Crawford that the word practice was stamped on the official Major League Baseball, and Jerry's not certain that there's anything different between I guess there is some kind of blemish in the ball that has allowed the company to declare them as practice balls and not game balls. Kendall hits one sharply. And there are 2 outs in the third. I also found it interesting while I was down there talking to Jerry Crawford and the crew that Bill Madlock came into the room. Bill is an assistant director of stadium operations for Major League Baseball. Here's the baseball, by the way. Here it is.
There's practice.
With the word practice stamped on it. I can't tell you where I get this ball, by the way, but big secret of James Bond type mission. Yeah. So that's what all the
that's what it was.
Hubbub was about last night.
Yeah, it turned into a practice game. You know, we all look for bargains, Lanny. Well, you know, it looks like a pretty good baseball. Why not use it? I mean, it doesn't look much different than the regular
ball. If somebody gave you a bunch of Titleists that had X out on them.
I got them. I use them. Yeah. They're in the bag, man. Then they're in the woods. They're everywhere.
They've been at the bottom of the pond for a while.
Yeah.
Bring them out.
Fish them out. Yep. Yeah, I want to just grab that. Seams don't feel any different.
No?
No. I think that somebody just got real crazy with the stamp, the practice stamp. But how about Frank? You know, it's like when you're a kid, you take your baseballs and go home if you don't like the way things are going. And he grabbed about 6 of them real quick.
It's really ironic in light of what Frank Robinson had been in charge of being the guy that passed out the punishment in his previous position with Major League Baseball. Well, Brian Giles looks at the bender, and it's strike 3. The Pirates set down an order in the top of the third. Our Buccos have a 2-0 lead over Frank Robinson's Montreal Expos. Has blanked the Astros on a couple of hits. Earlier I asked Jimmy how his approach this season is different from last season.
Just try to go out there every day. It's a new start. Don't put anything, no undue pressure on yourself. Last year I got in trouble and tried to throw shutouts the whole time, and I get 1 or 2 runs. I'd be out there pressing, and then it'd be 5 or 6 runs. This year I'm just trying to, when I pitch again, just try to go out and get ground balls and keep us in the game 6, 7, 8 innings the best I can.
First pitch to Carl Pavano, ball 1.
Yep. Short-term goals, very good idea for a pitcher. Pitch by pitch, inning by inning, rather than think shutout from pitch number 1. That's tough business.
How easy is it to learn that philosophy?
Well, you almost have to do it by repetition and convince yourself. I can't think shutout right away until I start getting momentum going, and the shutouts will take care of themselves. Now, when you get to a certain level, Sandy Koufax, and I remember him saying this, I think no-hitter every time out until I give up a hit, then I think shutout until I give up a run. But Jimmy's not at that level, so he's got to think, I think, along the terms of short goals, attainable goals, and those go by pitch, inning by inning. Let me get them out this inning, and then, you know, it's the one day at a time approach. Then let me get him out next inning when I go out there in the second. Now he's in the third. Let me get him out here in the third. And if you do that, and if the shutout comes, it comes naturally by itself.
3-2 on Pavano.
By the way, that was pretty scary the way Koufax phrased it, because he did a lot of that sort of thing.
Too many in that category, though. No. Koufax and Kurt Schilling and Bob Feller and Randy Johnson, just to name a few. 1 away in the third. Brian Giles had an extended conversation with Joe West, by the way, after the third strike was called. It ended the top of the third inning. It looked like after Brian's initial comment, Joe did a good bit of the talking.
Was that the tail end of what we saw, the little involvement with Tommy Sant coming in to offer a little something or back Brian up?
Brad Wilkerson looked at strike 3 in the first inning. That pitch seemed to handcuff Kendall a little bit. Strike 1. 2-0 Pirates. Chad Hermanson homered leading off the game. Hit a home run on the second pitch. And Robert Koviak homered in the Pirates' second.
You know, Lena, right in conjunction with what you're saying, I've talked to Jason Kendall. I said, who's the toughest guy to handle back there in terms of following pitches and comfort? Because sometimes catchers will be comfortable with a certain pitcher. Jack Wilson with a nice scooter. He gets on over to his buddy Craig at first base. And he said Jimmy Anderson's the toughest because his ball has so much movement downstairs to go get it different ways and angling the glove and that sort of thing.
2 outs, third inning. Pirates lead at 2-0. And if you'd like to contact the broadcasters here in the booth or our production team with questions or comments, log on to foxsports.com on Lyco's keyword Pirates booth.
I thought the keyword would be hometownreporters.com, but apparently not.
Ball one on Cabrera. Boy, you must have gotten a lot of rest today. You're red hot. No movie today?
No movie today.
They shut down movies in Montreal.
Yeah, I do. They shut down a lot of the theaters right on St. Catherine Street, so I got to go further down. They've got a 20-screen operation down by the old Forum where the Canadiens used to play. I'm going to check that out tomorrow. And I'll have a report, by the way, of some movie.
Hold your breath, folks. After 3, Jimmy Anderson and the Pirates lead the Montreal Expos 2-0. Back with more from Olympic Stadium. Pirates baseball on Fox Sports Net. Exclusive coverage of the Pirates. Our producer is Tom Hewitt. Our director, Dennis Galloway, along with Mark Vodonik and Lynn Holden. Craig Wilson leads off. Swing and a miss. I was talking to Craig yesterday about his time in the major leagues. He was telling me that he had a conversation with John Vander Wal before John left our ball club and went off to be with the Giants, and of course now he's with the Yankees. But Vander Wal was encouraging Craig to make sure that Craig Wilson worked at a position, because John Vander Wal felt that he and a lot of other players, they get stereotyped, just good hit, no glove, and therefore didn't get chances to play, didn't get opportunities in the lineup.
Good advice to hopefully lock in to one area, although sometimes you're on the type of a ball club where you're simply going to move you around. That's been the case with him.
Well, he doesn't care if he gets moved around. I'm saying, but have a position. Be able to play in the field, not necessarily one position. I'm sorry if I misled you with that. There's a hit batsman. Here's our Aflac trivia question for the night. Off which Pirate pitcher did Andres Galarraga hit his last home run as an Expo? October 5th, 1991, just 4 days before the Pirates opened their National League Championship Series against the Atlanta Braves. And we'll have the answer for you in the bottom of this 4th inning. 2-0 Pirates. Yeah, in Craig's case, he's proven that he can play the outfield and first base.
Okay, so I follow you now. Yep.
I guess when I said play a position, you thought I meant play one position.
Lock into one.
Remember Vander Wal, he had that period with the Pirates in the offseason, didn't come into Pirate Fest because he felt he wasn't given an opportunity to have a starting position.
Yep. After having a very productive year with the bat.
That was after the Pirates had signed Derek Bell. And John was disturbed. He felt he should have been given that opportunity to play right field.
Craig Wilson on quite a roll now, and one thing you like about the roll he's on, it seems like he's having good balanced at bat. Not a lot of overswinging, not a lot of chasing of bad balls.
Ball rifled well by Makoviak, and Roberts hit his second home run of the game. 4-0 Pittsburgh.
Well, tip of the cap to Rob Makoviak. Tip of the cap for Lloyd McClendon to stick him in that lineup tonight. 2 at bats, 2 home runs. Sean Green, Mike Cameron, here we come. We've got a guy that's on his way to joining you people. Well, Frank Robinson knows that familiar sound, the crack of the bat. Downstairs, like a lot of left-handers do, gets under the ball, lifts it, gives it a nice ride for home run number 8. And the Pirates add on. Good stuff.
First time in Rob's career that he's homered twice in a game. Boy, did Rob do a great job. Willie Stargell used to yell at Pirate hitters from the batting cage, throw the head of the bat at it. And boy, did Makoviak do that. 0-2 on Benjamin.
You look to certain players in your lineup to kind of gauge how you're doing offensively as a team, and Ramirez has been struggling, but the Pirates kind of getting it back together and hitting much better in the last 2 weeks or so.
Tatis's throw to Galarraga. Benjamin the first out of the fourth. Rob Makoviak 2 for 19 in his last 8 games. Since homering in back-to-back games May 22nd, May 23rd. Jack Wilson with a Craig Biggio type of look to his batting helmet.
It must be getting a little bit popular. I see Vladimir Guerrero, when he comes up next time, we'll see the same kind of thing. Looks like a lot of pine tar up on there to help you get your grip. You see, batters will sometimes put some pine tar up there and then tap the top, and that will help get a little more pine tar on the gloved hand or the bare hand. In this case, both hands are gloved. Pine tar, if you're listening at home or watching, and we hope you are, and if you're not, well, you won't hear this anyway. It's another name for stickum. Okay, we're scoring.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Ooh, that got Craig quite well.
And you hope it was far enough away from that helmet. He'll make his way down to Tommy Stanton. Then Tommy will make sure that he knows exactly who he is and where he is at this point. Biggie's going to go out and check him out. Concern is how high this ball got him. Well, it got him in the back. So I say that in a relieved tone because it looked like it was heading up toward the helmet.
I think 3 people yelled ouch at the same time. You, me, and Jack.
Yeah, exactly. Big Cat will commiserate a little bit. He's been whacked a few times in his career.
It's the second batter that Pavano has hit in this inning. Craig Wilson reached base as the first Pirate hitter of this 4th inning by way of the hit batsman, and then the home run of Rob Makoviak. Foul ball, strike 1, and Jimmy Anderson called on to bunt. Jimmy does not have a sacrifice bunt yet this year. St. Louis and Cincinnati, no score in the 3rd at Synergy. Montreal in the National League East tied for 3rd, 3.5 back of Atlanta. And the Atlanta Braves are hosting the Mets again tonight. Runner going, Jack Wilson's on the move, and Jimmy Anderson swings away. Ball is bounced outside the first base line. No balls, 2 strikes.
Well, Jack appears to be okay, although when you turn into a ball like that and hit you up in that neighborhood, you just want to make sure, you hope that you don't get hit in the shoulder blade, because that's kind of a delicate area. You could get a bone chip and well, all that area around the shoulder blade. You can take that shot and pretty much go about your business. Just don't want to chip a bone away from that area.
Well, they've been throwing at Jack since the first game he played in the big leagues. Or that first series against the Reds. Chris Rietzma buzzed Jack Wilson a couple of times. First series of the 2001 campaign.
Most rookies will get tested. Apparently either the test is continuing, or Carl Pavano does not like the kind of swings that Pirates are taking. Swings are much too good.
Change up away. Anderson strikes out. 3rd strikeout for Pavano. No, 4th strikeout. And there are 2 outs in the 4th inning.
You'll have to excuse me if I say Pavone. I know Glenn Pavone and the Cyclones. That's a group in Pittsburgh that plays down at Atria's after the ball games on occasion. Good group of musicians. Glenn Pavone and the Cyclones. This is Carl Pavano.
I mentioned last time Chad Hermanson came to the plate that the home run leading off a first inning, second time Chad's done it in his career. The other time was May 25th this year when Chad homered leading off the bottom of the first inning off Woody Williams. Pirates 4 and Montreal nothing. All 4 Pirate runs because of home runs. Makoviak's got 3 RBIs. Hermanson has 1. There are 2 outs. Runner at first base, Jack Wilson. Wilson runs again, called strike. Safe. Jack picking up his 4th stolen base of the year.
And the Expos had an idea that he was going all during that at bat by Anderson and now Chad Hermanson. Barrett has thrown decently this year, just a shade above 30%, which is okay. Pretty good jump by Jack Wilson to get the safe call at second base. And was stolen on the pitcher.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Hermanson. Chad received an injection in his shoulder on Thursday. Was able to come back as a pinch hitter on Saturday. Back into the starting lineup yesterday, though Chad has been advised to use good judgment when called upon to throw. Chad has been advised to not do anything stupid in terms of trying to get off a throw to gun down a runner if it's less than a good choice. And there's reason for Chad, because of the tenderness of his shoulder, to show some caution for a little while. Hermanson's out number 3. The Pirates scored 2 runs. 1 hit in the inning, the 2-run homer of Rob Makoviak. Rob's 2nd home run of the game. The Pirates 4, Montreal nothing after 3.5.
Bottom of the 4th inning, Pirates lead at 4-0. And for those of you tuning in to see the Best Damn Sports Show period, at this time it'll not be seen tonight due to our game. Tune in Thursday right here at 8 p.m. where it can be seen at its regularly scheduled time.
Two hits off Jimmy Anderson. After 1 out of the first inning, Orlando Cabrera singled. Jose Vidro with an infield base hit when Jimmy was late getting over covering first base, and then Jack Wilson did a spectacular job of starting a 6-4-3 double play that ended Montreal's first inning.
A couple ground ball outs in the bottom of the 3rd, so maybe Jimmy is getting into that mode where he keeps that sinker down and gets himself a bunch of ground balls.
I made the comment a couple of games previously that Jimmy had started that he seems to be the Rodney Dangerfield of the Pirate pitching rotation, because it seems like everybody's always anxious to say this is the game that if Jimmy doesn't pitch well, he's out of the rotation. And yet Anderson is tied with Kip Wells for most quality starts this year for the Pirates. Jimmy has 7, Kip has 7. Yet there have been a number of times when Jimmy's gone out there and done very poorly, and consequently his earned run average at the outset of this game was .531.
It's one of those deals. When he is good, he is very, very good. And da-da-da-da.
And he doesn't have a curl in the middle of his forehead.
That's right. No, he does not.
There's that changeup. Well, Jimmy shook it off. Under the slider down and in. One away in the 4th. And let's check the answer to today's Aflac question. off which Pirate pitcher did Andres Galarraga hit his last home run as an Expo October 5th, 1991? And the answer is a left-handed pitcher who is a former Expo, Zane Smith. It was the second to last regular season game of 1991, and the winning pitcher in that ball game, October 5th, 1991, was Bob Walk. Bob winning his 9th of the year to go 9-2. Benjamin able to keep that ball in front of him. 2 outs.
That's what you do at the hot corner. If you can't get it on the glove initially, get your body in front. It's a reaction kind of a position. You can't always make the pretty play. So you cup the shoulders, keep it in front. There it is. Now you got the play right in front of you, the recovery and the throw. That's the way to play third base.
And the fortunate thing is that Benjamin was playing back a good bit.
Yep.
Before that ball was roped off the carpet by Guerrero.
Also, one other factor, he knows the runner. He knows he's probably going to have a little extra time. Guerrero does not get down the baseline all that quickly.
Pirates 4, Expos nothing. This is Will Cordero's 15th game as an Expo. Two balls, 2 strikes.
When you play third base against Vladimir Guerrero, you're going to play deep most of the time because he just really takes vicious swings at the ball. Maybe somebody else, if they hit that ball, Mike would have been up a little closer and he would not have even had that in between hop. Ground balls by Jimmy in this inning. Good stuff. 3 up, 3 down. He kept it on the ground, and the Pirates will go to the 5th inning with their 4-0 lead intact.
Abraham Nunez leading off the top of the 5th inning. This copyrighted telecast presented by Authority. The Pirates may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Abraham tried to put down a swinging bunt in the first pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Congratulations to Brian Bullington, first pick in the country, selected by the Pirates today out of Ball State, right-handed pitcher, 6'5", 220 pounds.
Yep. And there's only one negative that we'll point out as a result of that draft pick. The ball fouled away. I saw a shot of him in his Ball State uniform. It looked like they were patterned after the Cincinnati Reds uniform. So we'll get that changed and he'll be fine.
Saw on the graphic that Linda Resvin of Stoystown is the Giant Eagle contestant. We had a winner in the 2nd inning. 3 Pirate home runs, 1 hit by Hermanson, 2 by Makoviak. Last time that a Pirate enjoyed a 2 home run game was Brian Giles, September 28th of last year at Busch Stadium. Also want to mention that Alex Hart was selected by the Pirates out of Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, University of Florida, right-handed pitcher, and Brian Holliday from Moon Township, left-handed pitcher, selected by the Bucks.
Pirates' 3rd choice was the younger brother of a current major leaguer, Tabor Lee, younger brother of Travis Lee, first baseman for the Phillies.
Not Stagger Lee, Tabor Lee.
That's right.
Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Pirates and the Expos tomorrow night, and then an off day on Thursday. The Bucks are only home for 3 days, so this road trip goes St. Louis, Montreal, Pittsburgh, Anaheim, Cincinnati. One down, 5th inning. Pirates in front, 4-0. After our ball game, join Guy Junker and Pat Paris for Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. You'll hear about the amateur draft of the Pirates' #1 pick, Brian Bullington, the area's top golfers playing at Westmoreland Country Club, the U.S. Open qualifier, and the Post-Gazette's Gene Collier shed some light on baseball steroids use, as only Gene can. All this and a lot more on Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. most Pirate fans know that Aramis Ramirez has been suspended twice in his career for throwing batting helmets at pitchers. Ramirez was suspended in 1998, 5 games, for throwing a batting helmet at Javier Vasquez. And of course, the incident this year with Ramirez being suspended for charging him out and throwing the batting helmet at Ben Sheets. The reason I mention all this to you is that an interesting side note to the scheduling. The Pirates play the Expos tomorrow. The pitcher's Javier Vasquez. The Pirates play the Brewers on Friday. The pitcher is Ben Sheets. Fly ball to right. And Guerrero makes the catch, 2 outs. Kendall 3 hits last night, 0 for 3 tonight.
So what we want to avoid is Roger Wilson stocking up on batting helmets for the next few days for Ron. Give him one and say, hey, that's it. You got one helmet the next 3-4 days.
Nobody on and 2 outs. And this weekend, the Pirates host the Brewers Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon. Following the game on Saturday, a spectacular fireworks show brought to you by PNC Bank and Pittsburgh area Saturn retailers and by Star 100.7. For tickets, call 1-877-893-BUCKS or visit PittsburghPirates.com or stop down to the Pirates ticket office. The Bucks and Brewers Saturday night fireworks night. 1-2-3 inning for Pavano. Pavano set the Pirates down in the first after he gave up the home run to Hermanson, and Pavano's given up 2 home runs to Rob Makoviak.
Pittsburgh Pirates baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians.
Set for the bottom of the 5th, our UPMC injury update. Jose Manzanillo on the disabled list. So is Armando Rios. Dave Williams on the DL as well. And David is going to be visiting Dr. Andrews in Birmingham. Originally, we thought that Dave Williams would be going down to Birmingham tomorrow, but because of the doctor's schedule, David's trip has been postponed until the early part of next week. And if it is decided that Dave should have surgery, it could come next Tuesday. Manzanillo threw on the side yesterday. That was a change in plans. The Bucks were hoping that Manzi would be able to pitch a simulated game yesterday, but there was some shoulder stiffness, nothing that anyone seems overly concerned about. I mentioned earlier that Ryan Vogelsong had his 4 innings of a simulated game yesterday, and Ryan said his command was a great deal better yesterday than it had been in his previous simulated game. So then after Saturday, after Vogelsong pitches his next simulated game, the Pirates will evaluate where Ryan is, and we may be closing in on Vogelsong having a chance to go down to Florida and pitch a couple of rehab games. Ken Biggerstaff had told me the Bucks would like to find some place to send Ryan where it wouldn't officially be a rehab assignment.
Today when we saw him in the clubhouse, it probably was the most animated we've seen him. He was really happy about his work.
Base hit by Tatis, the first Montreal hit since the first inning. Jimmy Anderson had retired 9 in a row. A leadoff double, 5th inning, Pirates in front 4-0. Fernando Tatis, formerly with the Texas Rangers, the St. Louis Cardinals, 2nd year with the Montreal Expos.
Had himself a big year with the Cardinals, home runs and RBIs before heading north of the border. And it's an interesting matchup here. You got a 4-run lead. I don't know how many people you want to pitch around this point in the ball game, but Galarraga, even though he has not hit a home run this year, this guy is so dangerous. He has made a big living off hitting pitchers' mistakes. Got to be careful. Career winding down for the big cat, but it's been a good one. Missed a good bit of time this year because of some back problems. There was concern that the cancer that he suffered from and apparently was cured was returning, but that's not the case. Great news. Very popular man around Major League Baseball circles.
2 balls, 1 strike. Galarraga bats with nobody out. St. Louis in front of Cincinnati 1-0 in the 4th inning. The Mets-Braves game has not yet started. Pitch inside, 3 balls and 1 strike. There's rain in Atlanta that has delayed the start of the ball game. And this is the bottom part of the Montreal batting order. Galarraga is their number 7 hitter. Jimmy Anderson giving up his 2nd walk of the game. 2 men on, nobody out.
It's the show that's changing the face of sports television, the best damn sports show, period. Tonight, heavyweight champ Lennox Lewis checks in to talk about his fight with Mike Tyson this weekend. Plus, the major's only 11-game winner, Curt Schilling, stops in to tell us how he just keeps getting better and better, and find out the latest on Rick Ankiel's wild pitching adventures. It's the best damn sports show, period, tonight at 11 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Net.
2 men on, nobody out. Well, Barrett showing bunt, takes a strike. The pitcher Pavano's in the on-deck circle, and now Kendall to the mound to have a quick conference with Jimmy Anderson. And Lloyd McClendon orders the bullpen to get working.
Mike Lincoln, number 57, hustling down there. Trying to find out if Barrett's still bunting. There's activity in the Montreal bullpen. Should Barrett move the runners and they decide to go in that direction, you could look at a pinch hitting situation. Plan changes.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Manny Acta back on the coaching lines at third base. Wendell Kim was there last night. Acta was away. Jerry Morales at first base. He continues his responsibilities there.
Ground ball to Benjamin. To Nunez at second for 1 on to first baseman Craig Wilson, a double play, and Tatis advances to third. Second ground ball double play behind Jimmy Anderson tonight.
And was that nicely done? If we can get a shot of where Jason Kendall wanted that ball, he signaled inside. Jimmy gave it to him inside. That caused the batter Barrett to hit the ball without much authority to Mike Benjamin. Look at Kendall moving in. Watch where the pitch goes. Right inside. Nicely done. Set up nicely. Round the horn, and things get cleaned up here in the bottom of the 5th.
Pitcher Pavano bats, runner at third, 2 outs. And Montreal's pitcher Hurgis sits down. Ball 1 on Pavano. Second baseman Nunez charging, gloving, throwing, and getting. The Expos had runners at first and second and nobody out. They do not score, and strand Tatis at third. After 5, the Pirates 4, the Expos nothing.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Pittsburgh Pirates baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Chrysler. Drive equals love. And by Aflac. Ask about it at work.
We're in Montreal. The Pirates in front of the Expos 4-0 as Jimmy Anderson has pitched a 3-hit shutout through 5. And for the Pirates' 6th inning, Craig Wilson, Rob Makoviak, and Mike Benjamin are ready to step in against Carl Pavano.
Well, Jimmy going back 3 starts ago, his good work against the Cubs, 7 innings, no runs on a couple of hits. Kind of heading down that road here. And again, it's road work. I don't know why, but Jimmy seems to be comfortable on the road. Should play some of the Rolling Stones Shattered.
Well, we've got a question, Steve, from Bill in Beaver, Pennsylvania. What is the definition of a quality start. And there's been some debate as to whether this definition is worthwhile or not. 6 innings or more and allowing 3 earned runs or less. I think it's a valid stat.
Yeah, well, this day and age it is, because that gives you a 4.50 ERA, and this day and age a 4.50 ERA is acceptable. It wasn't always the case, but that's the way the game is right now. So, and when you think about it, 6 innings, 3 runs, he's keeping you in the ball game. That hasn't let a ball game get away.
Rob Makoviak has to dance out of the way of a pitch. Makoviak has homered twice off Carl Pavone tonight.
I got you doing it too, Carl Pavone.
Oh, yeah. 1 ball, 2
He is
strikes.
you know, Glenn is a good musician, and Carl's a pretty good pitcher. We'll get him squared away.
Well, fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Thanks for catching that.
I wish I could have caught my own on time about 4 innings ago. Carl Pavano from New Britain, Connecticut.
Now, where is that in relationship to Hartford?
Just south of Hartford, about maybe 15, 20 miles, the home of the Stanley Tool Works.
Well, Rob Makoviak hit by the pitch, and Rob not pleased, and now Joe West is going to issue warnings to both benches as Pavano has hit his 3rd Pirate of the night.
Yeah, and now Lloyd's going to come out. This is the problem I have with this situation. If Joe didn't do that, now Jimmy Anderson can come out. If he hits somebody or knocks somebody down on their can, it's done with. Now you have no chance, because if Jimmy comes out now, he's going to be thrown out of the game.
Well, plus, you don't have to warn a pitcher or warn pitchers. In this case, Joe could throw Pavano out. If Joe West feels that Pavano was throwing at Makoviak, he could toss him out of the game right now.
Yep. And I think both of those options are better than this mutual thing, because now you take away the opportunity for Jimmy Anderson to stand up for his teammates. Now, I've seen situations where, even in spite of the warning, a pitcher will go out and protect his teammates and hit a guy knowing he's going to get thrown out. Now, that's a nice message to send to your teammates, but it also gets you out of the ball game when you're pitching extremely well. So it puts the Pirates in a bind.
Boy, I can't think of recently a Pirate pitcher did exactly that. Was pitching a good ball game and wanted to stick up for fellow Buccos and got tossed out. I can't remember who it was.
The players can handle this scenario. Pavano's knocking him down and hitting him because he hit 2 home runs. That's obvious. Jimmy can come out, send his message, and then it's done with. Tomorrow, Rob will feel flattered. Not right now.
Makoviak runs, swinging a foul tip. That's a good way to answer. One of the possible ways. Seems to be somewhat traditional about the game. You get hit by a pitch, take off, and steal a base, and make the guy pay.
Yep.
That way. See if you can come around and score.
From the catcher's perspective, the throw is on time, but quite high. There used to be another step you could take in that if you wanted to knock a guy down and then prevent him from running. Hit him in the leg. So there's all kind of scenarios to this whole thing about knocking people down. Thank you very much. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, base stealers, that's how they used to be dealt with on occasion.
Steve Blass, alias Marquis de Sade. Waved at by Benjamin. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
On occasion, we take a shot at the player's leg who'd like to run a lot, and they'd be screaming from the other dugout, "Hey, you're taking away his living." Well, look what he's doing to me.
Time called. Barrett to the mound to talk to Pavano. Carl Pavano had elbow surgery in August of 2000. Made only 8 starts for the Expos last year. And he has given up 4 runs as the Pirates have used the long ball to build this 4-0 lead. Chad Hermanson led off the game with a home run. Rob Makoviak a solo home run in the second, and then Rob hit a 2-run homer in the fourth.
Yeah, so he's given up 4 runs on 4 hits and has hit 3 batters.
Benjamin down on strikes 2 away.
Just put this in the file for tomorrow night. If Jimmy hits somebody, gets thrown out, that's one item. But Josh Fogg is scheduled to start for the Pirates, so we'll see if Josh, if nothing happens here tonight, has the opportunity to return the favor. And then again, it could be all done right at this point. So let's see how it plays out.
Jack Wilson to get an intentional walk. Jimmy Anderson, the pitcher, on deck. Matchup tomorrow night, by the way. Fogg and Vasquez, both excellent control pitchers, both in the top 10 in the National League in control. Buccos 4, Montreal nothing.
Didn't the Vasquez Ramirez thing start with an incident at third base, Lanny, with Vasquez running as a base runner before Ramirez came up to the plate? Is that how that went down?
It started, this was July of 1998. The incident started when Vasquez and Ramirez had words following a tag play in the Montreal 5th. Then in the Pirates 6th, Vasquez hit Ramirez with a pitch. And Ramos charged the mound and got the 5-game suspension.
Well, I'll tell you, we might not be in bad shape if we get a skirmish here, because we got a Marine in the dugout.
That's right. Kevin's brother, Jason. Jimmy Anderson to bat with 2 men on base. And that takes care of the top of the 6th. No runs, no hits, a hit batsman, a walk, and 2 men left. Middle of the 6th, Pirates 4, Expos nothing.
Pirates lead it 4-0. Let's take a look at the Pennzoil protection play of the game. Runners on first and second. Nice pitch by Jimmy Anderson to Benjamin, to Nunez, to Wilson. Cleans up that program. The shutout stays intact. Pennzoil protection play.
How is it that was the protection play of the game as opposed to the double play that Jack started in the first inning? Who votes? Is that is that Tommy Hewitt, our producer, making that decision?
I'll tell you, I remember voting for the first one.
See, we don't count.
There it is. Again, we get reminded.
Bottom of the 6th. And the top of the Montreal batting order.
I guess we can't go to another oil company and have 2 protection plates. Oh. No, okay. We're sticking with what we got.
Wilkerson has struck out and grounded out. Two balls, 1 strike. Wilkerson has put up good numbers and is an early candidate for Rookie of the Year. One of maybe 7 or 8 guys that at this point would be considered. 1 away.
Wait a minute.
We found some hanging chads.
Yep. There's an appeal play. Wilson to Nunez to Wilson. After further review, the first play stands. The second play is out of here. First one that was turned in the first inning. We'll continue to review, of course.
Ball 1 on Cabrera. Orlando played in all 162 games for the Expos last year and has been a part of each and every one of the first 58 this year. 2 balls, no strikes. Jimmy's been behind a good number of hitters, but found himself coming back consistently to pitch the shutout into the 6th inning.
and he has not allowed a fly ball out since Cabrera flied out to left in the 3rd inning. Cabrera's back up now. Jimmy on a nice little roll. Yeah, it really is the reverse of how Jimmy would like to do it. He'd like to be 0-2, 1-2, but he's been 2-1, 3-1 a good bit, but he's been able to work his way through it.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 6th inning. The Pirates 4, Montreal nothing. These Expos will be in Pittsburgh later in the month. Hall of Famer Frank Robinson. Managed previously Cleveland, San Francisco, and Baltimore. It's the 3rd walk giving up by Jimmy Anderson. 1 on, 1 out in the 6th. 4-0 Pirates, and on Sunday, Kids Inflatable Chair Day at the ballpark. Game time 1:35. All young fans 12 and younger will receive a Kids Inflatable Chair courtesy of AT&T Broadband, Adelphia, and Armstrong Cable Systems. For tickets, call 1-877-893-BUCKS. Visit PittsburghPirates.com. And remember, we're only home for these 3 days, then back out on the road. The Bucks and Brewers, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon. And Vidro takes ball 1.
You know, Lanny, I was asking Frank Robinson, I said, Frank, when you were managing the Giants 81 through 84, you ever notice a kind of a skinny teenager hanging around the Giants clubhouse by the name of Barry Bonds? In those days, he said, yeah. He said, you know, we came close as the Giants to signing him out of high school before he went to ASU. He said, we missed by $5,000. We were $5,000 short of signing Barry Bonds. And you know what Bonds has done, and he's currently tied with Frank Robinson, 586 career home runs. Fourth place.
Barry tied Frank just the other day.
He said, yeah, I noticed him. He was around that clubhouse.
Once again, Mike Lincoln's up in the Pirate bullpen. Going to take Barry now a while to get to Willie Mays. Willie is 3rd on the all-time home run list. The Say Hey Kid with 660 home runs.
Catcher Godfather. Willie Mays, godfather of Barry Bonds. Well, this is a real test for Jimmy Anderson now. He's got a man on, a man out, facing the 2 dangerous guys in this Montreal Expo lineup, Vidro and Guerrera. The other ones are okay, but these are their blue chippers in the middle of their batting order. Nothing doing at first base. A couple of double plays turned behind Jimmy. We just saw them, and both coming at very, very good times in the bottom of the 1st and the bottom of the 5th.
Caught by Nunez. Abraham Nunez ranging to his right, timed it just right to make the catch, and we've got a 3rd candidate for a Pennzoil protection play of the game.
I'll tell you, we're running out of oil. Tremendous timing for Abraham Nunez. Brings that ball down, and that ball looked like it was not only heading to center field, but might get far enough into right center to go all the way to the wall. Tremendous job. First of all, positioned well, and then the beautiful catch to bring that ball down by Abraham Nunez.
Now Benjamin to Nunez. As the Pirates are indeed getting it done with the leather.
I'll tell you, what a difference a day makes. The Buccos showing some leather. 4-0. Nice stuff.
Pirates baseball exclusively on Fox Sports Net. Montreal. Pirates only trip this year to Montreal, and very possibly the Pirates' final trip to this Canadian city if Major League Baseball does indeed contract or decides to move the Expos. Barbara Bell of Mercer, Pennsylvania is the contestant for the 7th inning. The Red Sox lead the Tigers 7-4, and the Yankees in front of Baltimore 4-1. Boston 2 games up on the Yankees in the American League East. Vidro and Galarraga get together. One away. Here's the Coors Light. What's on tap? Tomorrow night, the Pirates and the Expos. Third game of the series. Game time 7:05. Lloyd McClendon will send Josh Fogg to the mound. Josh, last time out, defeated the St. Louis Cardinals. First game of the trip. Javier Vasquez goes to the hill for Montreal. Our coverage begins at 7.
Well, I don't know whether it's a sound system in this ballpark, but I think I'm hearing a lot of bats being broken. Maybe it's just the contact you hear. It seems like there have been a lot of those kind of sounds.
Yes.
This next pitch that Carl Pavano throws will be number 100. Jimmy Anderson's been quite efficient, averaging right around 13, maybe a little bit more than that through the first 6. That's a good number.
Called strike. You know, I want to go back to the play that Nunez made. Very often I feel that everybody gets so excited about diving catches of line drives, and it's so instinct driven that I'm not sure that at times it's all that spectacular. The player just reacts and makes the catch. But this play by Nunez, I mean, it required not only great instinct but also to time it all perfectly to make that play.
Because he's quite a ways away from the batter, so many times you can react early. That's payback time.
Only 2 away in the 7th. Pirates lead it 4-0.
It's the best show, and it's the show that's changing the face of sports television. The best damn sports show, period. Tonight, heavyweight champ Lennox Lewis checks in to talk about his fight with Mike Tyson this weekend. Plus, the major's only 11-game winner Kurt Schilling stops in to tell us how he keeps getting better, and the latest on Rick Ankiel's wild pitching adventures. It's the best damn sports show, period. Tonight at 11 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Net.
Well, Carl Pavano's done a good job against the Pirates' 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Pirates lead at 4-0. Hermanson 1 home run, Makoviak 2. Nunez, Kendall, and Giles are combined 0 for 10.
You know, just to go back to that play Nunez made, the second baseman is maybe the furthest one away from the play, and he can react early many times. There's a swing and a miss, because you see the line drive and you see a guy swing. Your instinct is go up early to protect that ball that's going to be heading your way, and so many guys will go up early and come back down without the baseball. So among other things, you think it's a reaction play, but sometimes you have to have patience to time your leap.
Abraham has done an outstanding job for our ball club. He was disappointed when he got sent down for a short while. Great guy, too.
Easy to root for.
Pavano thought he had strike 3 and started down off the mound. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
You know, Lanny, to go back to the Jimmy Anderson situation, to the warning by Joe West. You know, what if a pitcher throws a pitch that just accidentally gets away from him? Jimmy has hit 4 batters. Don't know if he's thrown intentionally at them, but should a pitch get away, Joe West could throw him out of the ball game, even though it's got no purpose.
Pitch from Pavano in on the hands. Kendall tried to fight it off, bounces the ball back to the mound. Middle of the 7th inning. The Pirates 4, the Expos nothing. Now let's check in with our Los Angeles studios for a sports update.
This sports break is brought to you by Acura. I'm Patrick O'Neill at the Fox Network Center. The women's semis are set in Paris. Jen Capriati will play Serena Williams. Sister Venus faces Clarissa Fernandez. And Mike Tyson worked out today preparing for Saturday's fight with Lennox Lewis. His handlers, however, canceled all press conferences. And Blues captain Chris Pronger had surgery to repair a torn ligament in his knee. He's out till next January. For all the latest news and scores, stay with Fox Sports Net.
Cable. I'm here for the install. I'm at your front door, sir.
I'll tell you what, we'll meet you back there sometime between 12 and 5. Always wanted to say that.
The more powerful Acura RL. In advance, we believe in doing it yourself. So we made this commercial ourselves.
Hey, Charles. What are you doing?
Just getting ready to install a new battery out there for a customer.
I see. Pretty cool outfit. Wow. Well, where'd you get those awesome goggles, battery guy?
Funny.
Battery guy walks the earth, searching for battery. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, Battery Guy. Bow before him.
4-0 Pirates. Good-looking ball game. Well played by the Pirates. Jimmy Anderson working into the bottom of the seventh. Let's revisit the scouting report, the PNC scouting report on Jimmy. Needs better defense than last night. He's getting that. No earned runs tonight. That's a vast improvement. And he continues his terrific work on the road. So Jimmy Anderson right in step from inning number 1.
In the first inning, after 1 out, the Expos had a couple of men on, and Anderson was able to get Guerrero at a ground ball, and Jack Wilson far to his right. Jack initiating the double play. And a double play turned behind Jimmy in the 5th inning. The ball to Michael Barrett. Hit a couple of fine defensive plays in the 6th, one by Nunez, the other by Benjamin. Update from Cincinnati. The Cardinals 6, the Reds nothing in the 6th. Albert Pujols has hit his 12th home run of the year. And Jason Simontachi has blanked the Reds on 3 hits through 5. Jimmy Anderson shutting out the Expos on 3 hits through 6. Anderson tossed 7 shutout innings at the Chicago Cubs' first game of the doubleheader at Wrigley Field, allowed only 2 hits in that game.
Graham Lloyd, left-handed, getting it ready to do some work with the Bucks.
Called strike 3, 1 out, second strikeout for Jimmy Anderson.
Struck out the first guy he faced, and now the most recent.
Cubs and Brewers scoreless in the 3rd. Kerry Wood pitching for the Cubs. The Milwaukee Brewers coming into Pittsburgh this weekend. The Brewers have won 4 in a row, but Milwaukee still has the poorest record in the National League. Fly ball to left. Giles tries to make the leaping or the lunging catch, and ball hits off his glove and rolls into foul territory, and Tatis has his 2nd double of the game.
Good try by Bryan, but Fernando Tatis, a right-hand batter, hooked that ball, so is continually hooking away from Bryan. Almost caught up with it. Here's the effort. Not as comfortable a landing as he would have had.
Say a whole different program on this carpet. As compared with the plush Luke Yoder backyard at PNC Park.
Luke's lawn. What a great place that is. If you're going to make catches or attempts for catches like that, nice cushion. And I think we both have the same feeling. One of the best catches we've ever seen was Andy Van Slyke's here in this ballpark. Flat out from center field over toward left center. Just horizontal to this surface.
Off, I want to say Mitch Webster? Mitch Webster, possibly. No balls, 2 strikes on Galarraga.
Double barrel activity in the Pirate bullpen once again. Sauerbeck and Lincoln. 47, 57. And number 71 doing the protection.
No balls, 2 strikes on the Big Cat.
Original Big Cat was Johnny Mize. This is the current Cat.
Ball to the right field corner, hit by Galarraga. Fair ball. Tatis scores from second. Makoviak's throw to second base off the mark. Montreal has its first run. The Pirates now lead 4-1.
And it is a dangerous cat. Gets the RBI. Hard bullpen work continues.
There was one occasion where Jimmy was out in front of Galarraga, 0-2.
Got the ball out of the way, but not nearly far enough, and Lloyd McClendon right now wants to make a move. Short trip from the bullpen here at Olympic Stadium. They're down each foul line. Doesn't take long to get the bodies in. Looks like it's going to be Mike Lincoln.
Well, Jimmy Anderson has put together his 8th quality start of the year, taking this ball game into the 7th inning, turning it over to Mike Lincoln.
He can win it. He cannot lose it. Mike Lincoln back up where a lot of people feel he belongs. His work with the Pirates, all 16 2/3 innings.
Well, that sounded like a broken bat.
Yep, sure did.
2 outs. Galarraga holds at second base.
Nicely done. And by the way, Mike Lincoln was untouched. Clean work in his 7 appearances in Nashville.
The Pirates 4, Montreal 1 in the 7th. After the game, Pittsburgh Sports Tonight with Guy Junker and Pat Paris. You'll hear from the Pirates' #1 pick, Brian Bullington. Also report on the U.S. Open qualifier at Westmoreland Country Club. And Gene Collier discusses baseball's steroids issue immediately after the game. Cius, the pinch hitter. And the line for the leader of the Cyclones.
Pavano goes 7 innings, gives up 4 runs on just 4 hits. 1 walk was intentional. It's all fouled away.
That almost clipped one of our cameramen. Our cameraman on the first base side got hit by a foul ball yesterday. It was Sean near the Pirate dugout. You all right, Sean? Okay.
All right, there you go. Close. As long as it's close and it's not a hand grenade. Yep, Pavano 4 runs, 4 hits, a walk, and 5 strikeouts.
And 3 hit batsmen.
3 hit batsmen. 3 long balls given up.
He hit 3, we hit 3.
There you go. Mike Lincoln's last appearance before getting sent down was 2 scoreless innings against the Astros at PNC Park, and was informed after that game he was going to the minor leagues. That had to be a pretty tough pill to swallow, but he did. Did his clean work in Nashville. Now he's back with the Bucks.
And called back with Joe Beimel going into the starting rotation.
Mike with very adequate fastball, but boy, you like it when he throws that bender. He's got an excellent curveball. I wonder if he could do the same thing with a practice ball. No.
Bouncer up the middle. Nunez behind second base will save a run by not allowing that ball to go out into center field. 1st and 3rd, 2 outs. It's a play by Abraham.
Yeah, that kind of thing really is a protection play because it protects a 3-run lead. That is literal protection. And does the right thing knowing that he has no play at first base, just checking out the runner running around third. No chance for Mike Lincoln, and Abraham Nunez knows where his look has got to go. Over to the man at third base.
Left-handed batter Wilkerson coming up, and so Lloyd McClendon wants a left-handed pitcher. Scott Sauerbeck coming on. The Pirates 4, the Expos 1. More from Olympic Stadium right after this. Sauerbeck's 28th appearance of the year, 1 win, no losses, 270 earned run average. 23 and a third innings, 26 strikeouts, and Frank Robinson is going to send Mike Mordecai up as a pinch hitter for Brad Wilkerson.
Scotty is not allowed a run in his last 4 appearances.
Galarraga's the runner at third. And Macias at first. There are 2 outs. Pirates 4, Expos 1.
It may not have a bearing in the game, but you'd love to see Scott leave these runners at first and third, save Jimmy an earned run. It's not the big item. The ball game is the big item, but Jimmy scuffled the last 2 times out. It'd be nice to help that ERA.
Kendall puts down 2 fingers. 2 balls, no strikes.
Jason, the double clutch on that return throw to Scott. Thought they might have gotten a high strike call from Joe West, but they did not.
Well outside, 3-0. Well, we're in the shallow water right now, but it's going to get deep quickly if you get past Mordecai, then Cabrera with Vidro and Guerrero.
The Sharks are over there somewhere.
Mordecai taking all the way. Runners at first and third, 2 outs. 4-1 Pirates, 7th inning. Runner at first going on a 3-1 pitch, and the bases are loaded. Mordecai walks.
Brian Boehringer in the Pirates bullpen. Frank Robinson knows who he has left. Frank managed for 11 years before taking 11 years off the managerial responsibilities before taking this job with the Expos.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Guerrero doubled in Tatis in this inning for Montreal's first run. Ball 1.
Well, even if Scotty does not get outs with it, he's got to establish the curveball. That's his #1 pitch. And again, if he doesn't get that over, he really cannot come with the other pitches. Those are secondary.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. 2 balls, 1 strike. Galarraga had knocked in Tatis. Galarraga is the runner at third. An infield single for Macias. He's at second base, and Mordecai, the pinch hitter, drew a walk. Hammered down the left field line, a foul ball.
Guerrero obviously expecting that curveball and just a little bit out in front, not much out in front, and he hooks it.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pirates 4, Expos 1, bases loaded. Ground ball to Jack Wilson, and the inning is over. Montreal settles for 1 run, 3 hits, 3 men left on base. As Sauerbeck gets Cabrera to bounce into the force out. Through 7, Pirates 4, Expos 1. Macias stays in the game to play center field, and the new pitcher is left-hander Graham Lloyd. Put his name in the #1 spot of the Montreal batting order. This Lloyd is not from London, from Australia.
17 saves registered for the Montreal Expos. Graham Lloyd has 4 of them. The leader, just by 2, Matt Hergis. He has 6. Scott Stewart picked up his 5th last night.
It's the middle third of the Pirate batting order in the 8th. Bryan 0 for 3 this evening.
The Pirates are able to stay in the shallows, then they'll deal with deeper water in the bottom of the 8th.
Vidro lead off the 8th.
Jimmy Anderson's ERA will go down. 6 1/3 innings, just 1 earned run. Got him.
It's the 4th Pirate to be hit by a pitch in this game.
A glancing blow might have got mostly uniform there, but the Pirates get a base runner here in the top of the 8th inning. That'll work.
Craig Wilson 0 for 2 in this game. And Craig on the trip 10 for 18.
Nice number. And seems to have good balance. Has had good swings, not swinging very much out of control at all. And out of the 10 hits, it doesn't seem like he's gotten any cheap ones. He's been on the ball pretty good most of the time we've been away from PNC Park.
1 ball, 1 strike, 4-1 Pirates. Rob Makoviak has hit 2 home runs in this game. First time in Rob's career that he's homered twice in a game.
Good play down the left field line by that young man. Plenty of pine tar on the helmet of Craig Wilson. Maybe that's a trendy thing these days. Bill of that helmet. Brooks Robinson had a very short, small bill on his batting helmet. Said it helped him see better. Graham Lloyd didn't see the spear that was chucked at him. That weapon should be registered. I'll tell you, they've lost a lot of timber here tonight.
Phil Cutsey, the second base umpire, hands the barrel of the bat to the bat boy. You know, I mentioned earlier that when I was down visiting with the umpires before the game, Bill Madlock came in. Bill is here as Major League Baseball's representative to make sure facilities are right. Runner going, Giles on the move, the throw to second base. Bryan getting a stolen base, his 8th of the year.
Big lazy curveball maybe gives Bryan an extra step or 2 in underneath the tag. And that stolen base as a result of a good jump, because Barrett does a good job doing what he can from the back of home plate. It's not enough time.
Count 2-2 on Craig Wilson.
We've been trying to get to that Madlock story all night long.
All fouled away. Just to follow up on it and maybe finish it up. Bill said that there have been some players complaining that some teams have been moving their advertising signs behind home plate during half innings, and they have to be done between innings so there's not that distraction. So, and Bill was in Pittsburgh last week, was at PNC Park. I thought it very interesting that here's the 2-2 pitch. All fouled away. Interesting with Bill Madlock walking into the umpire's room, and there's Jerry Crawford, the crew chief, because back in 1980, Madlock and Crawford got into it. Bill shoved his mitt up in the face of Jerry Crawford, and Bill was handed a pretty sizable suspension for it. Base hit by Craig Wilson to left field. And Giles stops at third. The Pirates have gold at the corners. Nobody out as Craig extends his hitting streak to 6 games. Now, normally 6 is no big deal, but consider that in Craig Wilson's 6-game hitting streak, he is 13 for 22.
And another nice swing under control. He waited nicely, hits the ball with authority between third and short. Well, looks like pretty good balance to me that he's not committing early and being off stride and out in front and all those sort of things. Nice contained swing during this run he's on.
Adrian Brown to pinch hit for Rob Makoviak.
Ooh, what do you got to do to stay in the lineup, huh? Well, we know what the program is here. Adrian Brown will come in defensively, and well, we'll see what he has in mind. He brings a good bit to the plate here in this kind of situation with nobody out. His speed presents a problem for the defense, how they're going to set up, what they're going to look for.
Frank Robinson walking to the mound. Frank will make a pitching change. Adrian Brown, who has been swinging the bat exclusively right-handed since this weekend in St. Louis. The Pirates have runners at first and third, nobody out. The Buccos 4, Expos 1 in the 8th. Back with more in a moment.
Right-hander Matt Hergis making his 30th appearance. That's got to be among the National League leaders in that category. Good numbers all the way around, and for Matt Hergis, he will check in, as we said, with 6 of the 17 saves. And he will work to Adrian Brown. They're hitting right-handed, and he'll check with Trent Jewett. Back to action.
The Pirates used the squeeze last night. Not a play that we've seen a great deal from Lloyd McClendon in the 2 years that Mac has been the skipper.
We saw it with 2 strikes. I thought that was neat. It certainly caught me by surprise. There's not much you can do when you get the squeeze down properly.
All bunted, and Giles hung up between home and third. Tatis to Barrett. Craig Wilson gets over to third, and Adrian Brown will get into second base. So it works out okay for the Pirates.
And Barrett going down there and tagging everybody. I'll get a smile from Jerry Crawford. The only person that didn't tag was Trent Jewett.
Now Crawford ruling that Giles is out.
So the Pirates went for the straight sacrifice. Giles gets hung up, but he stays hung up long enough to allow everybody to get in their respective positions. And now Frank Robinson wants to discuss this.
Yeah, because the base really belongs to Brian unless Brian was tagged before he got back to third base. But if both runners are on the base, and now Frank wants to know how did the tag go at the end? Was it before Giles got back to the base?
Doesn't look like it.
I think Jerry's ruling that Barrett tagged him before Brian got to the base.
Remember the situation at PNC Park with Mark Smith?
Sure do.
They got confused with who got tagged, and Mark Smith just leisurely strolled across home plate, and that was it.
The out is 1-5-2. Giles erased. Second and third, 1 out.
Now, many times, a high percentage of times, teams won't try a squeeze play with nobody out. They'd rather take a shot at having a big inning. But now Mike Benjamin giving a long look at Trent Jewett here.
I'm still trying to run this play through my mind. I don't recall Brian breaking on the pitch. Do you?
No, he kind of went late. The ball was bunted down, and I think he might have anticipated the throw going to second base.
Fly ball to right. Guerrero's got a great arm. Craig Wilson tagging at third. No, now Craig comes down the line. He was initially at the base and then came down the line as Guerrero was getting ready to make the catch. 2 outs.
And the crowd was revving up, hoping to see a confrontation.
Vladimir Guerrero has 8 outfield assists this year, and his teammate Brad Wilkerson has 8. Second and third, 2 outs for Jack Wilson. Pitcher Sauerbeck due next. You would think Robinson would walk Jack just to force Lloyd's hand and now Lloyd sends Ramirez out to the on-deck circle.
There might be a little bit of a poker game going on right here.
And if Robinson, the point being that in the bottom of the inning, Vidro is leading off. Jose Vidro has a lower batting average right-handed, but has hit 3 of his 5 home runs right-handed.
And to continue along that line, a home run as a leadoff man would only make it 4-2. So does that come into the formula? Many times a manager will think of all right, what's the worst case scenario if I'm going to make a certain move?
No balls, 2 strikes on Jack Wilson. Runners at second and third. The Pirates had runners at first and third, nobody out. Presently it is second and third, 2 outs. Pirates 4, Expos 1. All 4 Pirate runs by way of the long balls. 1 hit by Chad, 2 by Rob. Hermanson and Makoviak respectively. Well, they didn't get that call. The Expos wanted it. 1 ball, 2 strikes on jumping Jack Flash. Four runs scored by the Pirates off the Montreal starter Carl Pavano. Pirates starter Jimmy Anderson, 6 1/3 innings, allowed only 1 run. Jack Wilson's bouncer up the middle. Second baseman Vidro had trouble. Did not have a firm grasp of the ball. Base hit for Jack Wilson. Craig Wilson scores 5-1 Pirates. Adrian Brown goes to third.
So the Pirates get a little help from the turf here, and with that last big bounce, I don't think Vidro was going to get him anyway, but as he couldn't get a handle on the ball, it confirmed the fact this high hop is going to make it awkward. By the time he comes back down, it might be too late right there, and the Pirates add on. That's a nice run for the Bucks to get to answer the Expos. They scored 1 in the bottom of the 7th.
And Aramis Ramirez ready to pinch hit for Scott Sauerbeck. I asked Lloyd McClendon on Lloyd's radio show today if it's because of the ankle that Aramis Ramirez has been struggling at the plate. Lloyd says no, and Lloyd has said it's important that the message be sent to Aramis that he not even be tempted to think about using the fact that he does have some problem with his ankle, use that at all as an alibi or a means by which to get himself out of the lineup. They want Aramis to be in there every day, even though his ankle, he's really playing 80-85%. But Lloyd's point was that for Ramirez to elevate himself to the upper echelon of the game, he's got to want to be in there all the time and realize he'll be playing sometimes with pain, with injuries. One ball, 1 strike. 5-1 Pirates, 8th inning. St. Louis 7, Cincinnati nothing in the 7th inning. The Cardinals hoping to move themselves to within a game of the first place Reds, and if the Reds lose and the Pirates win, the Bucks will be 6.5 out of first.
Be nice to have a chance to turn things around on the road. The Pirates, a couple miserable road trips before coming out here to St. Louis and Montreal. Even though the road record is not that bad overall, most of the good stuff was compiled early.
Well, you know, it's not guaranteed, it's not automatic, but you'd love to come in here, win 2 out of 3 from Montreal, and make noise against the Brewers this weekend. Milwaukee has the poorest record in the National League because next week the Pirates play the Angels, and Anaheim is in 2nd place in the American League West, and then the Bucks against the 1st place Reds.
Get yourself positioned well with a pretty good foundation before you head out on that trip.
Possible the Reds might not be in 1st place when we get to Cincinnati, and week from we fly into Cincinnati a week from Thursday. Play the Reds Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Not of this week, but of next week. 3 balls and 1 strike on Aramis Ramirez. Adrian Brown, the runner, at third. Jack Wilson at first. A full count. Galarraga will most likely back off on the right side. Jack Wilson has the advantage of moving with the pitch.
Jack has done a good job tonight getting on base 3 times. 1 base hit, was hit by a pitch, another time walked, but he's still out there in the paths.
New life or a second chance for Aramis Ramirez, as Barrett was unable to hold on to that ball after it came off Aramis's bat.
Talked about the Wilsons before the game doing better work. Craig Wilson. So what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 at bats, and they're on base. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 8 at bats. Craig and Jack.
Jack Wilson, the runner at first, taking off on the 3-2 pitch, and Ramirez strikes out. Well, the Pirates pick up an additional run. 2 hits in the inning, 2 men left on base. Middle of the 8th, the Pirates 5, Montreal 1.
Pittsburgh Pirates baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people. And by your local Jeep dealers. Jeep, there's only one.
The Pirates 5, Montreal 1. Bucko changes for the bottom of the 8th inning. Kevin Young stays in, or comes into the ball game to play first base. Adrian Brown stays in the game to play right field, and the new Pirate pitcher is Brian Boehringer.
He'll come on to work the bottom of the 8th inning. Pirate bullpen has done a terrific job. 7 earned runs in their last, well, now 39 2/3 innings. That's an ERA of about $1.50. Numbers for Brian.
Jose Vidro, 6th best batting average at the start of the day. 2nd hit of this night. Vladimir Guerrero 0 for 3, ready to step in. Checking the Safe Auto Insurance number for the year. 209 Pirate runs, $1,045 from Safe Auto Insurance to Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Pirates 5, Expos 1. Ball 1.
If you can get Guerrero to hit the ball on the ground, he's a double play candidate. 11 on the year so far.
One ball and 1 strike.
As usual, does not hold much back. He goes after a pitch. Fastball up and in, couldn't catch up to it. A lot of pine tar on the helmet, a lot of pine tar on the bat.
Also some on his uniform.
Yeah.
On a wild pitch, Vidro moves down to second.
Takes away the conventional double play. Brian has thrown 4 pitches, 2 of them kind of overthrown, trying to get a little too much on. Last one got away.
Base hit to center, and Vidro scores as Chad Hermanson throws the ball into second base. The Expos have their second run. The Pirates in front 5-2.
And that ball is tattooed right over Brian Boehringer's head. Take a look at this at bat. Misses downstairs. Good fastball in. That one overthrown, and that one really overthrown, that slider. And then the fastball down and away and right over his coconut.
Well, thank goodness Brian got down as quickly as he did.
And both of those balls smacked right back through the middle, and they were smoked.
Will Cordero, the former Pirate. One on, a run in, nobody out.
Well, you've just moved into a save situation currently. Bring up Mike Williams' name when we get to that area.
Will does not agree with Joe West.
Will asked him and then apparently didn't hear him well enough, so asked him again. He continues to ask, the answers will become more emphatic. And they are getting more emphatic. And
He's gone. Cordero has been ejected by Joe West.
And Will didn't get very demonstrative. It looked like a casual conversation. Well, you never know, even during what appears to be a casual conversation, if it gets personal. If it gets personal, as Bruce Fremming told us Sunday, then it doesn't go any further. You're out of here. So perhaps it did get personal. Now, Frank Robinson, as you said, who used to be in charge of discipline and all that sort of thing, will make his way back to the dugout. Ironically, Frank Robinson, when his playing days were still active, when he was still playing with the Baltimore Orioles, he was in charge of their Kangaroo Court. That used to be a popular clubhouse thing, and maybe that was some on-the-job training for Frank, and caught up with it later in his life.
So O'Leary will inherit a no-ball, two-strike count. Will Cordero ejected by Joe West.
I don't know if Frank's quite done from the dugout.
O'Leary called back to the dugout. I'm assuming that West had not signaled that O'Leary was in the game. It'll be Brian Schneider.
That would leave him with O'Leary and Stevens.
And now Frank does officially point to signify his pinch hitter, and Joe West notifies the press box. So it will be Brian Schneider who inherits a no-ball, two-strike count.
That might be up there in the top quiet ejections that we've seen recently. Just a little wave of the hand. The way Jocko Conlon used to do it 1,000 years ago. You're out. Get out of here. Come on.
Ground ball hit sharply. Jack Wilson to Abraham Nunez to Kevin Young. Schneider comes off the bench and hits into a double play.
Nicely done. Couldn't have come at a better time. And Ironically, that feed from Jack Wilson to Abraham Nunez, not nearly as good as the one he made from deep short. That one was downstairs, a little more awkward for Abraham to handle. The good thing is they had plenty of time, but this feed from Jack downstairs, it didn't look real comfortable for Abraham. But they did have the extra time because it was sharply hit. There's the smile. Jack knows about that, too.
Jack throw him a knuckleball. It looked like you kind of palmed the ball towards Abraham.
The awkward feed.
Three ground ball double plays turned by the Pirates, and Nunez has turned the pivot on all three.
Another broken bat. Well, last night we almost ran out of baseballs. Tonight we might run out of bats. But not pine tar. There's always plenty of pine tar. We had a player, Vic Davila, had so much pine tar in his helmet, he would put his hand up there to get a better grip. He'd lift it off and the helmet would come with his hand. It's a little bit of an awkward.
Same guy that fell over in the batter's box once?
That's the same, very same.
That's the same guy.
Yeah, same guy.
Pirates 5 and Montreal 2. Talk about two games being on opposite ends of the pendulum. Boehringer has retired only one of four batters. Vidro and Guerrero with base hits. Guerrero singled in Vidro, and then Schneider hit into the double play. Tatis walks. Andres Galarraga coming up. Chad Hermanson started the game and homered on the second pitch. Rob Makoviak a solo home run on the second. Makoviak hit a two-run homer in the fourth. And then the Pirates added a fifth run in the eighth inning when Jack Wilson's infield single scored Craig Wilson. Montreal scoring bottom of the seventh. Tatis scored on the double by Galarraga in this eighth inning. The Guerrero RBI single cashing in Vidro. Tucker and Reams. Britt Reams was the Montreal starter on Sunday, who was knocked out of the first inning when Montreal lost 18-3. Another broken bat. Well, this feed from Jack Wilson to Abraham Nunez a little bit off the mark. Abraham had to reach towards center field to catch the ball. The force out ends the inning. Now to the ninth.
The Pirates have made their choice. Coming up on Pittsburgh Sports Tonight, Ball State pitcher Brian Bullington is the Pirates' top choice in the amateur draft. You'll hear from Bullington tonight. Some of the top golfers in the area trying to make next week's U.S. Open will have the highlights. Plus,
I'm Gene Collier. Join us tonight. We'll talk sex, drugs, and rock and roll, except for the Sex and Rock and Roll Club.
your teams, your town, your show. Next on Pittsburgh Sports Tonight.
Hey, it's all about the park. Crossing the bridge, come early, stay late. It's all about the view and great seats. Wow, look at downtown. It's all about the crowd. Hey, how's that for action? Yep, this is what it's all about. Pirates baseball at PNC Park. It's all about you.
Fans 12 and younger receive an inflatable chair from AT&T Broadband, Adelphia, and Armstrong Cable System Sunday, June 9th. You're watching Fox Sports Net's exclusive coverage of our Pittsburgh Pirates. Pirates 5, Montreal 2. Tomorrow night, Josh Fogg pitches for the Pirates. And then an off day Thursday, the Bucks this weekend host the Milwaukee Brewers. Friday night, 7:05. Saturday night, 7:05. Sunday, 1:35. We've got a fireworks show for you, friends, after the game on Saturday. Schneider stays in the game. He's in left field. Top of the Pirate batting order for the ninth. Natford just came on in the eighth. 1 out. Chad tonight 1 for 5.
Join us right after the game for Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. You're going to hear from the Pirates' top draft pick, Brian Bullington. Gene Collier joins us to talk about steroids in baseball, as only he can. And local golfers try to qualify for the U.S. Open. All that and more right after the game. Now back to Lanny and Steve in Montreal.
All right, Guy, thanks very much. Sounds like a strong show after this most impressive ball game. Strike 1 on Nunez. You want to be listening tomorrow night. Bob Walker's on the telecast tomorrow night, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Bob will no doubt at some point talk about how he used to watch himself warming up with the reflection, the glass behind home plate here at Montreal.
I'm glad to hear that, because I always thought that would be a distraction for a pitcher, just seeing all that reflection and movement. But, I'm sure Bob could handle that. I'm sure he did. Actually, I'm not sure he did, so I will be interested in watching. So I'm going to take the night off. He's going to watch.
Go to a movie tomorrow, then just watch the telecast.
Watch Bob watch himself. And on it goes. Boy, is this a lot more fun than last night.
I think it was Rob Dvorak who said in the Post-Gazette today that if this is the last year for Montreal, they'll not put the videotape from last night's game in the time capsule.
No, I think he's right. Although for comic relief, it might be amusing. Thought I was at the circus last night.
The Cirque du Soleil, huh?
Yes. The circus go away. One of those nights.
I was so baffled last night that Frank Robinson let T.J. Tucker bat. I'm sure Frank had a reason that he did. Abraham Nunez, after enjoying a 3-hit, 3 RBI day on Sunday, 0 for 10 in this series, but has done a great job in the field in the middle of 3 double plays. Also Abraham, that fine leaping catch of the Vidro line drive in the 6th inning. But we have a lot of candidates for Advance Auto Parts Player of the Game. Jimmy Anderson and Rob Makoviak are 2 of them. I want to minimize the defensive play of Nunez and Jack Wilson.
I guess that goes hand in hand. When you have a good solid ball game, you wind up with more than one candidate. We've had a lot of voting tonight for various things. Another broken bat.
Real fine play by Cabrera, the shortstop of the Expos. Going to the bottom of the 9th inning. And the Pirates are in front 5-2. Lloyd McClendon's Pirates in front 5-2, and Lloyd has summoned Mike Williams to pitch the bottom of the 9th.
It is a save opportunity for Mike. He has 17 on the year. That ties him for 2nd place in the National League with Danny Graves of the Reds. Gagne of the Dodgers has 20. When Gagne and the Dodgers were in Pittsburgh, he came in for at least 1 save, and it looked like he was toying with the Pirates. They're very, very impressive. Not that Mike Williams has not been. Done a whale of a job for the Bucks this year. Terrific work.
Updating some other scores for you. St. Louis leading the Reds 7-4 in the 8th inning. Aaron Boone is homered for Cincinnati. Albert Pujols a home run for the Cardinals. St. Louis 2 back of the Reds in the National League Central. The Pirates 7.5 out of 1st place. Michael Barrett starts the 9th. Macias to follow. And strike 1. The Cubs 5, the Brewers 3 in the 6th. Todd Hundley has homered for the Cubs. And the Mets won Atlanta nothing in the 3rd. Start of that game in Atlanta delayed because of rain. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Pirates have had the lead since the second pitch of the game. Chad Hermanson driving one off the top of the center field fence. Chad's 5th home run of the year. Makoviak's hit 2 home runs, numbers 7 and 8. Barrett starts this inning with a single. Another switch to Macias. Well, we got to get it done quickly. We don't want to get down to spots 3 and 4, Vidro and Guerrero.
Yeah, we saw enough of their act in the bottom of the 8th. Those rockets back through the middle.
Trying to bunt for a base hit. Trying to get himself on and bring the tying run to the plate. O'Leary's in the on deck circle, preparing to bat for Hergis. Jose Vidro drew up 5th in this inning. Guerrero 6th. No balls, 2 strikes.
A 4th double play would fit nicely here.
Just saw Joe West hold up 4 fingers. He was calling for 4 more baseballs, preferably the kind that aren't stamped practice. Looked like Michael shook away from the slider to the fastball away. There's a ground ball to Jack Wilson, to Nunez, and just the lead man is erased. 1 out. And see us save at first.
Well, they had the right script. It's okay. Get the lead man. Take your shot with O'Leary.
O'Leary hitting .389. Troy O'Leary with Milwaukee 93 and 94, and then a member of the Boston Red Sox 95 through last year.
The announced attendance tonight 4,619.
Mike Williams, the Pirate closer, had a start for the Pirates in 1998 here in Montreal. Ball fouled away. That was the day the Pirates traded Esteban Loaiza. Loaiza was scheduled to start that day, and so Mike Williams got the nod. And by the way, that was the game that featured the Javier Vasquez Aramis Ramirez incident. 1 on and 1 out. 1 ball and 2 strikes on O'Leary. Throw to first, ball pops away from Kevin Young.
Almost caught Mr. Macias napping over there. Had they gotten an out, it would have been prudent for Mr. Macias to wait a while before he went into the clubhouse.
The Pirates 5, Montreal 2. The 2 starters are the pitchers of record, Jimmy Anderson and Carl Pavano, and they've just charged Mike Williams with a ball. He went to his mouth, and it makes the count 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the count, and they charge the extra ball. Let's watch it. Here's the replay. Did he go to his mouth?
He hasn't yet.
There he did. Right there is where Joe calls it. Runner going, ball fouled away. Macias running, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out.
I don't think he charged a house guest that kind of penalty. He did that. Didn't look like there's anything really socially offensive.
Second one that Kevin's been unable to handle. Brian Gorman, the first base umpire. Change up away. Nope, guess not. Like I said, change up away. Runner goes. Swing and a miss toward second base. Safe. Very close to ending the ball game.
Boy, how sweet would that have been to put a lid on this well-played game by the Pirates with a strike him out, throw him out. They came very close. Macias gets in.
And our Advanced Auto Parts Player of the Game, a split vote. Rob Makoviak is the player of the game. Rob hitting 2 home runs, a solo shot the opposite way in the second, and a 2-run homer to right field in the 4th inning. Congratulations to Rob. 3 RBIs.
Very much an honorable mention to Jimmy Anderson tonight.
And Cabrera takes a pitch inside, ball 1.
Same scenario exists, and you don't want to fool around with Mr. Cabrera. Get on the other side of him with an out. Get yourself into the dugout. Leave those sharks in the water. Vidro and Mr. Guerrero.
One ball, 1 strike.
Pirates needing 1 more retreat. That's French for outs, isn't it? Retreat. Yep. One more. Just need 1 more.
No,
I waited late till I went to my
now
French.
He's talking French. Oh my gosh. Ball hit sharply, diving stop by Benjamin, and the ball game is over. Appropriately, we end the game with a above average major league play. The Pirates defeat the Montreal Expos. There was no doubt about it. Jimmy Anderson gets the win. Makoviak 2 home runs. Chad Hermanson 1.
Good evening. This is Pittsburgh Sports Tonight.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to PST. I'm Pat Paris. He is Guy Junker. Thanks for joining us after a Pirates win. It was certainly a 180 from last night. We're going to get to that coming up. We're also going to talk about the Pirates draft today, and they trade Brian Bollinger with the first overall draft pick. And as I mentioned, we'll get to that, but we start with the Pirates and the Expos.
Yeah, people talking about this could be the Pirates' last trip to Montreal. The way things have gone up there recently, they had lost 4 in a row going back to being swept last year and last night. Maybe it's good that it'd be their last trip up there if it turns out to be that way. They were 1-9 in their last 10 games on artificial turf, too. Don't play that many on artificial turf anymore. But they got off to a good start tonight. Chad Hermanson homered to start the game, and the Pirates never trailed. Bottom of the first, 2 men on for Vladimir Guerrero with a 1-0 Pirate lead. It's a shot to Jack Wilson, who neatly turns the double play with Abraham Nunez, a sign of good Pirate defense to come. Top of the fourth inning, Craig Wilson on first. The Pirates up 2-zip. Rob Makoviak hits a 2-run shot to right, his second home run of the game. The Pirates had a 4-0 lead. They go on to win by a final of 5-2, and it's kind of strange that for the second consecutive night, the team with the most hits loses the game. The team that plays the best defense, though, wins the game, and that was certainly the Pirates tonight. They turned 3 double plays in the game, had a couple of really good plays. We'll have a longer version of highlights a little later on for you. But Jimmy Anderson picking up the victory tonight. Jimmy improving his record to 5-7, getting his ERA under 4. Patty's a guy who's pitched much better away from PNC Park or whatever.
Right.
And it's kind of funny because PNC Park with that thick infield grass, he throws a lot of ground balls. You think that would be a park tailor-made for him. Tonight he's playing on artificial turf where a lot of those ground balls get through, but he pitches a good game, just gives up the 1 run in the 6 2/3 innings.
Now 4-1 on the road with a 1.91 ERA, so kind of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And fortunately for the Pirates tonight, it was the good guy pitching tonight. And Rob Makoviak, the hero of tonight's game, he joins us live now from Olympic Stadium in Montreal. Rob, congratulations on the 2 home runs. Tell us what you were feeling and how things were for you tonight at the plate.
Well, thank you for that. I've just been trying to stay on the ball. I've been working every day. You know, we come out here with Clark and them guys, and I just got some pitches. I've been missing ones I should hit lately, and I finally, made contact with them.
Rob, that the second home run in particular, it didn't seem like that bad of a pitch. It was kind of down and in, and you went and got it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't know what to say. You know, he's got, every time you get lucky here and there, I guess, I don't know.
Hey, Rob, you guys did not put on the best display of baseball, really neither team last night. Must be nice to come out tonight and play well, not only offensively with a couple of home runs and another one by Chad, but defensively turn in the 3 double plays.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy kept the ball down. You know, when he keeps the ball down, it's, our defense picks him up. And Benjamin played a great game, and, we had a lot of double plays in that game.
Robin, talking about defense, especially when Aramis Ramirez was both suspended and hurt, you got some action at third. Do you feel I mean, everybody's known you've been able to swing the bat for a while, but do you feel like you've proved yourself a little bit defensively now, too?
I mean, it's always good to come in there and play defense, so especially when you're struggling with the bat. It's, just makes it a little bit better if you can come in and play defense. I don't know, prove yourself, but I mean, it felt good to get in there and do a decent job and, get us through that.
6 hits total. As long as 3 of them leave the yard, that's good enough to win most nights, I guess.
Especially for a team that's the worst in the league at hitting home runs.
Yeah. All right. We appreciate your time, Rob. Good job. Congratulations on the 2 home run performance.
All righty. Thank you.
Rob Makoviak. First time in his career he's hit 2 in 1 game. Showing a lot more pop in his bat this year than he has it not only in the majors last year, but in most of his minor league career. Not known as a home run hitter, second on the team in homers now.
Yeah, good to see that. Good to see Chad Hermanson also lead off the game with the home run, the kind of power that you need. A few guys didn't hit well, though, tonight. Nunez, Kendall, they were both 0 for 5. So that's the kind of disappointment, but you hope to see those guys, especially Kendall, who's been playing so well, or played well last night on the carpet. You'd like to see him get it going again. You can see that next game, the final game of the series, coming up tomorrow night right here on Fox Sports Net Pittsburgh. Sports Beat, standing guy at 6:30, 7 o'clock. It is the Buccos and the Expos. Pirates will try to take 2 out of 3 in the series. Afterwards, it's Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. Now let's talk about the draft and the Pirates' first overall pick. As expected, the Bucs taking 21-year-old right-handed pitcher Brian Bullington, a junior at Ball State University. Despite coming from a mid-level program, Baseball America says Bullington has the best breaking ball and best command among all college pitchers. Stan Savran has more on the Pirates' first #1 pick since Chris Benson in '96.
Major League Baseball began its June amateur draft at 1 p.m. this afternoon. At 1:01, the #1 pick discovered at the exact same time the rest of the world did that he was indeed the #1 pick.
Redraft number 0090, Bullington Brian, right-handed pitcher, Ball State University from Fishers, Indiana.
As soon as it went across the ticker there on the internet, that's when we found out for the first time, and then Pittsburgh called there about 15 or 20 minutes after to congratulate me and wish me luck.
It was quite an improvement for Brian Bullington, who was drafted out of high school by the Kansas City Royals 3 years ago as the 1,111th pick. So in 3 years, he moved up 1,110 spots. It was worth the wait.
1,111, so he moved up a little bit from that, and of course he was 6'4", 190 at that time, and now he's about 6'6", 225. So, and like I said before, he's improved a lot, as time's gone on here.
The Pirates passed on 2 high school players to select Bullington, presumably because he had a higher upside, but also because they figured his path to the major leagues would be shorter. So now the question becomes, how long before Brian Bullington pitches here at PNC Park?
Being a college pitcher, naturally, he's going to be a little closer than a high school draftee, but I still think with what we've seen so far, though he will be closer, there's still some work that needs to be done, and I would anticipate we'll still look at him in probably a couple of years away.
On that day, whenever it might occur, Bullington's dreams will have come true. But for now, on this day, you'll forgive him if he hasn't yet connected reality to dream.
When you're growing up, you think about possibly playing in the major leagues, but it really doesn't seem like a reality at that point in time. So, you know, and even now, it's kind of surreal. It's just kind of came together there at the end of my career in college, and, you know, everything's worked out well for me.
This is Stan Savran for Pittsburgh Sports Tonight.
Thanks very much, Stan. Here's a look at Bullington's numbers from this past season. He was the Mid-American Conference Pitcher of the Year. He led the league in wins, strikeouts, and ERA. In fact, the strikeout number of 139 is a MAC record. Very impressive indeed. Here's what Dave Littlefield had to say more about his #1 pick.
Brian is a 6'5", 230-pound right-handed pitcher with an above-average fastball, 90 to 96. An electric slider, curveball, and changeup. He's an accomplished pitcher who's thrown a lot of strikes through both international baseball and his time at Ball State University. This draft is not one in which, across the industry, people feel like there's a lot of outstanding individuals, talent-wise, that we've seen many years past. And, you know, from our standpoint, we feel comfortable in Bullington projecting out to be a #3 starter.
Well, let's take a look at what they did with their first half-dozen picks. It's all aboard the Pirate ship. Second round, they take a 6'4" right-handed high school pitcher, Blair Johnson. Their third-round pick is a shortstop named Taver Lee, the younger brother of Phillies first baseman Travis Lee. They grabbed 2 more righties in the 4th and 5th rounds and a first baseman in the 6th. Dave Littlefield, after it was all done this afternoon, stopped by and joined Stan and Guy on Sports Beat. Said he's very pleased with day 1 of the draft.
50 rounds in which we select, we also draft first. So there's no doubt that this is a big day for the Pirates as far as acquiring talent. We went out and got a couple of high school pitchers after in the 2nd and 4th round, some really highly rated kids that, you know, we were a little surprised they were there, but there's something as being experienced in scouting you see time after time.
Some of the local guys who were drafted today: Brant Colamarino out of Central Catholic and University of Pittsburgh, taken by the Oakland A's with the 218th overall selection in the 7th round. Brian Holiday from Moon High School. We showed you highlights of him beating Carrick yesterday. Well, today he gets picked up by the Pirates. How about that? In the 12th round. And Joseph Van Gorder from West Virginia, Dustin Nippert from West Virginia, taken by the Cardinals and Diamondbacks respectively. Eric Ackerman, another player on that good Pitt team this year, taken by the Kansas City Royals. For Holiday, the news was indescribable, and it came while his Moon Tigers were getting ready, practicing for a state playoff game against State College on Thursday.
I was in the middle, we were taking infield, and I was in the middle, I had my cell phone in my pocket, and I was in the middle of taking a ground ball. It was right as it was hitting me, my phone rings, I picked it up, hurried up, threw the ball, threw the ball in the home, went over, walked to the side, everybody's on the team, they're like, uh-oh, and I picked it up, it was my brother, and he said, you got drafted by the Pirates 12th round. I was like, oh, all right, At the time, I was still in the practice, and I was like, oh, great, and then all of a sudden, hung up on him, I was like, whoa. I was like, all right.
Times have changed. We weren't allowed to have cell phones in our pockets at practice. More on the way at Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. Is there a problem with steroids in baseball? Gene Collier says he's on a lot of stuff himself.
Don't kid yourself. They didn't have cell phones when you were in high school.
They have regular phones.
We'll head to Westmoreland Country Club. Local golfers trying to qualify for the U.S. Open. Highlights next.
Pittsburgh Sports Tonight is brought to you by Safe Auto.